Man, I need a job.
Hey, it's Dave with Blueline Design. Thanks for coming back for the final part in the series on in-store displays, where this week I will take the parts that you saw me cut out last week and I'll put them together to make a hopefully interesting display. So I printed out my original Blueline sketch, and that's going to be the blueprint for putting this thing together. So let's get right into it. So here are some of the supplies that I'll be using to put this display together. I'll be using lots of hot glue, different kinds of Velcro, X-Acto blades, and a white color pencil, which is good for marking on black foam board. So my plan when putting this together would be to make the display into two pieces and connect them with Velcro so that you could easily store it or ship it if you needed to. So I started with the bottom part of the display so that I'd have a good foundation. From here, I just start piece by piece fitting the bottom part of the display together. Then I use 1/2-inch foam board and create a stack of pieces so that I could raise up the packaging from the back of the display. Once I have the sides of the ship in place, I glue down the ramp, and then I use a little bit of white glue with a scrap piece of the ramp print to finish up the edge, and I pin it into place with T-pins. Next thing I do is I hot glue in the piece that has all of the packaging printed on it. Once I have the bottom part of the display finished, I move on to getting the foundation for the top part prepared. Once that foundation piece is built, I then glue on the front using that technique I showed you in the last video. I'm able to curve the front of that display. Then I move on to sticking on the pieces of Velcro so that I can have the top removable from the bottom, and this is important for storage or shipping to a client if necessary. Come to think of it, a good benefit for having a removable top from the bottom is that if you wanted to try different kinds of displays, you wouldn't have to recreate the entire thing. You could just detach the top and try a different one on there. That technique of learning to curve the foam board has really come in handy for this display. With the top part of the display looking pretty good, I move on to the ship's engines, which will be attached to the sides. Another cool technique I learned from that Eric Streibel video is to carve a groove into your circle shape so that your piece that you're bending can key into it. I'll have a link to that video in the description below. Once I have all my engine parts prepared, I glue them all to the sides of the display. Now, what was really handy was being able to detach the top part of the display so that I could then work on the wings. I cut out a groove that the wing could key into to keep it strong. I then move into the funnest part of the display, which is starting to add the characters. I then use sticky backed Velcro dots so that I could attach the Ventrax's tentacle arms. This would come in very handy for either repositioning them how you'd like or detaching them for storage or shipping. After adding the spines to the Ventrax, I then created some claws that I could have him grabbing over top of the edges of the display. And getting down to the final parts of the construction here, I add the horde of aliens that are running out of the bottom part of the ship. I add some Velcro to the hand of the hanging alien so that he can be hung up from the top of the display. and jiggle. I then use some wire to attach the little flyer aliens to the side of the wings. So I hope you enjoyed watching that series where we went from this design to a final 3D mock-up. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work. I learned a lot. I felt like I proved that I could take one of my designs and it would translate to reality. If you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, it would really help me out. If you have any questions about the process or any materials that I use, you can leave them in the comment section below. If you want to check out Mike O'Hare's Alien Island, you can in the description. Until next week, keep drawing, keep designing.